Welcome to Stetson Law Live, an online, interactive, informational event for incoming 1L students at Stetson University College of Law. Your host today, Ashley Cease, Assistant Director for Academic Success and Bar Preparation Services, and her guests, Andrew Williams and Brianna Greene. Our program today is part one in our series of Getting Ready for Law School. Summer prep tips for your 1L year.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this webinar. Let me be the first to congratulate you on your admission to law school and starting this amazing, really transformative journey of studying the law. Today, we're here to talk about how to prepare for your 1L year, how to make that transition to law school just a little bit easier. And I know for me, thinking back to starting law school, it felt like you should be doing something during the summer before law school starts. So we're here to talk about what you can do this summer to prepare as well. Let me introduce myself. I'm Ashley Cease. I'm the Assistant Director of Academic Success and Bar Prep Services here at Stetson. So I look forward to meeting all of you on campus during your 1L year and helping you to prepare for exams and really make that transition into law school. I'm joined by two of our amazing student ambassadors who you may have met on a tour of Stetson, and you're sure to meet when you get onto campus during orientation. So I will go ahead and let them introduce themselves. Why don't we start with you, Brianna?
So, hi guys, I'm Brianna. I'm a rising 3L here at Stetson. I'm a senior Stetson ambassador, a member of the trial team, and just became this year's Christian Legal Society's vice president.
Great, thanks Brianna. And Andrew?
Yeah, hey guys, my name's Andrew Williams. I'm a rising 2L. I'm also a part of ambassadors on the leadership committee. I'm also a part of the JD MBA programs. I'm taking MBA classes as well. And I'm involved with Christian Legal Society as well as the Real Property Probate and Trust Law Society.
Wonderful. All right, so today's webinar really is interactive. We want to answer your questions, so please make sure, pipe up, type away, ask your questions, and we will be sure to address them and answer anything that you have on your mind. So here we go. Let's get started. Why don't we start by talking briefly about why our student ambassadors chose Stetson. So Andrew, let's start with you this time. Can you tell us a little bit about why you picked Stetson and what you're involved in here?
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually went to the undergrad campus as well, so I am a double and triple header now. And when I toured Stetson, I got the same small school feels that I got from the undergrad. So it was very nice, and knowing that the professors actually care and they're very good with their open office hours and making themselves available to us. That was something that was very important to me. It's close to home, and Stetson has an outstanding reputation in Florida. So that was also a very thing that was very high on my list.
Awesome, thank you. And what about you, Brianna? What drew you to choose Stetson?
So what drew me to go to Stetson was the trial advocacy program. I've been interested in advocacy since I was in high school. And, when I started researching law schools to go to, Stetson immediately popped up as, one of the top ranking in advocacy and legal research and writing. So I figured, hey, why not? I got to go to the best, and here I am.
Wonderful, and that is so true. We do have such an amazing trial advocacy program that you can all get involved in really after your 1L year, but there are some opportunities to volunteer during 1L year as well. So I see many of you are joining us. Hello to all of you, Stephanie, Corey, Robert, Matt. I see lots of people chiming in. Feel free to ask questions as well, what you're worried about, concerned about, thinking about as you progress through the summer before law school begins. So let's talk a little bit about, I mentioned that our students here are from the Ambassador Program, which is a wonderful leadership program on campus, and they also put on a wonderful mentor program for the 1Ls. Can you talk a little bit, Brianna, about your role as a mentor with the 1Ls?
So as a mentor for 1Ls, we are going to meet you guys on your very first day at orientation. We'll be there all day through, guiding you along. And then from there on, you're kind of stuck with us, I guess, as we would say. We're there to give you tips and advice, and not just about school, but, especially if you're new to the area or, just new to the environment as well. We're there to help you, be a friend, just somebody that you can talk to, maybe, coming in and you don't know anyone. We're that one person that you 100% will always have no matter what. And I think that's really great. And I think it really helped me my 1L year, having that one person that I could go to. So that's what we're really here for. And it's really exciting. And we all have a great time getting to interact and making new friends.
Wonderful. And you are also a mentor for the 1Ls coming in?
Yes, so I, as a rising 2L, haven't had my group of mentees yet. I'll have my first group this fall, looking forward to that. But my mentor is very good. She was very good about staying on us every week and checking in on us and just being that person there who was there for us, whether it was for academic questions or just, adjusting to life in this, the St. Pete area. She was very good to be there for us. That's something that all of us ambassadors strive to do for y'all.
Wonderful. And as I said, I'm the assistant director in academic success. So as a 1L, we put on tons of workshops for you to help you prepare for classes to make the transition into a professional graduate program. So we cover everything from time management and case briefing during your orientation, breakout sessions. Then we'll have further workshops on outlining and exam preparation, exam writing. We also have a group of student fellows who give peer feedback and can assist you as well during your 1L year. Can you all talk a little bit about academic success here at Stetson, either the workshops or the importance of really doing practice problems and preparing for your exams in a different way, perhaps than you did in undergrad? Let's start with you, Andrew.
Yeah, so it's a really great office. You can go to them at any time, and they have a lot of sample questions you can get. Practicing sample questions is a huge asset to be doing well in law school. You can't really find those questions anywhere else, and they have questions that will be very similar to what the professors have. And the professors also have a bank of questions from previous exams that you can take. And academic success is great about looking at those and telling you where your strengths and weaknesses are, so that when it comes time for exam time, you have a little better idea going in, since there's only one, maybe two exams that make up your whole grade.
Wonderful. Looks like we have our first couple questions coming in. So let's first chat with Vanessa, who's asking, how many 1Ls do mentors typically mentor? So Brianna, can you talk about how many students you have in your mentor group?
So typically it kind of depends on the incoming 1L class, but as far as I know, I've had 5, maybe 6. That's about the largest group. We really try and keep it intimate. That way everybody feels that they're getting the attention that they need and kind of getting their own focus and making everybody feel very included.
Wonderful. And I see another question from Cheyenne. Is it possible to reach out to the Office of Academic Success over the summer before classes begin? Yes, it definitely is possible. You can email us at asp@law.stetson.edu. We'd be happy to meet with you and talk with you about the transition. And additionally, as soon as you get your Stetson credentials, you can go to the Academic Success webpage on the Stetson web pages. And there's actually an area where you can log in as a student, and you'll see tons of resources. So that's where we house a lot of our practice questions for exams, as well as a toolkit that you'll find that has tips on making the transition, the decision to come to law school, and everything from case briefing to outlining. All of that's all online. So I would encourage you all to log in there and take a look at that before you get to campus. Okay, let's see. We have another question from Nick from Daytona Beach, who asked, would you suggest supplementing research with sources outside the Stetson Law Library, public libraries, etc.? So I'm thinking this is about research when you get to Stetson for your classes. So I'm going to answer it that way. Correct me if I'm wrong, Nick. But you really have tons of reading. That is one of the biggest transitions to the start of law school, is just the sheer volume of reading that is going to be assigned. So you will have, and the most important thing that you should really focus on in your classes is the assigned reading from your casebook. Some professors will also assign some additional reading out of a commercial supplement, and we also have a lending library in the academic success offices where you can find some commercial supplements as well to do practice problems from. But really the key thing is the reading from your course that's assigned by your professor. And additionally, you will have access to Westlaw as a student, LexisNexis, so you'll be able to research cases and whatnot that way, and you will have a full tutorial from the librarians as well as your research and writing professors about that. So let's see what other questions we have. Let's see, we've got a question from Sarah. What do you think the largest difference between undergrad exams and law school exams is? So Brianna, why don't you take a stab at that one?
Well, I've had plenty of law school exams now so far under my belt, and I'd say the biggest thing is probably the biggest difference is memorization. I don't know about you guys, but for me in undergrad, it was a lot of, okay, well, I learned this, this, and this. Let me memorize it so that way I can, kind of spit it back out on the test. Whereas law school is a little more different. It's a little more engaging. It's about you understanding the concepts and then being able to take what you know and apply it to different circumstances or different fact patterns or things like that. So for me, I think that is probably the biggest difference between the exams.
Great. I think you just really nailed that one. That is the big difference. I see a question from Will. Do you have a list of recommended readings for entering Stetson Law students? So I believe you actually do have a list of recommended reading that you will get through your orientation materials, through some of the Step 1 and Step 2 online modules that you do before you enter law school. We also have a page of recommended resources and supplements in the Academic Success Toolkit. And on there, they're broken into two categories. So books and materials you can use to practice for your law classes and that deal with the information that you're learning as a law student, and then some that are about the success strategies for really tackling your 1L year and the law school experience. So I would say really, I would pick one good book about the law school experience and take a look at that and about law school success. And another book I really would highly recommend is called A Short and Happy Guide to Being a Law Student. And that really gives you an idea of why you're doing this, what the purpose of coming to law school is, helps you think about that, and has some really good tips and strategies for dealing with some of the stress during the transition to being a law student.
I would piggyback off that and say, as far as reading before your 1L year in law school, all those books are great, but at the same time, read whatever you want to read, because once you get into law school, not to scare you guys or anything, but you're going to be doing a lot of reading for classes and reading for educational purposes. So if you're a really big avid reader, now, and you're just reading for leisure and for pleasure, I would say probably get in as many books as you can now that you like to read before you actually start law school.
And if I can add, in addition to that, if you're currently not a reader and you don't read a lot already, you might want to start trying to do that and getting in the habit of that, because you will be having to read every single day. And if you get in the habit of doing that now, it will make it a little bit easier once you get here in the fall.
I think those are both excellent points. I think the more pages you can just read per day, increasing your speed of reading and just the amount that you're reading each day, that really is the biggest thing you can do to help prepare for that first month of law school. Okay, let's see. We have another question from Vanessa. This is awesome, so interactive. Thanks, Vanessa. The office you were speaking of was academic success, correct? Yes, we are academic success and bar preparation services. So as a 1L, we'll work with you to prepare and transition into law school. And throughout your 3 years of law school, we're here to help you with exam prep and success strategies. And then we also will work with you as a graduate as you prepare for a bar exam. And you're also saying, is there a way to have our answers to the sample questions reviewed before the tests? And the answer is yes, definitely. An advisor from Academic Success can review those with you. Some of our peer Academic Success fellows can review them with you. And one thing that is really special about Stetson really is our faculty. They have such an open door policy. They really want you to succeed. They want to work with you. And so all of your 1L faculty will be happy to review practice problems and your writing with you before the class as well. So thanks for that great question, Vanessa. Let's see, we've got Sarah is asking, when will we get our schedules? That is a great question that I do not have the exact answer to. I think you will get them during orientation, though. Do you all remember when you got your schedules?
I think they came out in early August. Is when you get that schedule, so you'll be breaking down in your sections, and when you get your sections, that's the people you will have all 4 or 3 of your classes with, and then your research and writing will be broken up as well.
Great, thanks. We've got Cheyenne is asking, do any of you recommend taking a law school prep course over the summer with Kaplan, etc.? You can do this if it's something that you're interested in. There are a lot of materials out there. I think really we've hit the most important thing, though, is really just reading a lot, improving your reading volume and speed, and really spending this time to have a fun time, give yourself a rest, and really connect with friends and family, because it is going to be a big transition. There's going to be a big demand on your time when you start law school as a 1L. Did either of you take a prep course, or can you talk a little bit about what you did over your summer, Brianna?
So I did not take a prep course. I'm originally from Dallas, and I went to undergrad at LSU, so I am about 4 states away from any of my closest family members. So for me, I just spent the summer, like you said, being with my family, hanging out with my friends, just really doing the things that I wanted to do before jumping into this new journey. And relaxing, I think, is probably the biggest part of that.
Yes. Andrew is saying yes as well.
Yeah, same. I didn't take a prep course either. Definitely relax, have a little bit of fun, because life definitely changes once you get here in the fall.
Okay. So let's see. We've got another question from Rob, who is asking, will any of the course materials be available in a digital format, or will the majority of our required text be all hard copies of the book? So that is going to depend on your professor. We have at least one professor on campus who always has a web course book. So Professor K.
Yes.
Other textbooks will be, hard copy format. So I think there are more and more materials that are available online to help you, though. So when you get here, definitely stop by Academic Success. We can go over some of the online tools that can help you prepare for class. We've got another question. Did your professors allow laptops in class? I'll let the students tackle this one.
So it really is just based on the professor, on who you have. Some professors do believe in, hard copies of books and, writing notes. There have been studies, I believe, that says writing notes and handwriting things will help you understand them and, ingrain them in your brain more. But then some professors understand, we are in a more digital age. And as long as you are, taking notes and being able to, policy and monitor yourself, then you're allowed to, have your laptop and take notes and all of that stuff.
Wonderful. I will just add to that, I think a big mistake some students make when they're entering law school is they forget what has worked for them in the past. So it feels like there's some magic recipe to success, and if you type every single word your professor is saying, you're going to somehow ace the exam. And really learning the law is like learning a new language. It's about practice. It's about really checking in with yourself about if you're learning the material, if you're understanding it. So if you tended to handwrite your notes in undergrad, that works for you. I would encourage you to keep doing that here. If taking notes on a laptop is better for you and it's allowed by your professor, stick with that. If it's not allowed by your professor, figure out a way to really type up those notes after class. Let's see. We've got another question from Sarah. Do you have to make appointments for reviews with Academic Success? So yes, you do. We definitely have an open door policy. We're actually located right in the library. So if you're in the library studying and a question comes to your mind, come on by, ask your question. If our door is open, come on in. You can also just set up an appointment that way in person as well. But if you would like to go over a practice problem, get feedback on your writing, that is something we'll want you to set up an appointment for so that we can really dig in on an individual level. Let's see, we've got another question from Vanessa. I'm a bartender. What are your opinions on working while in law school, weekend shifts, for example? So during everyone's circumstances are different, but during your 1L year, especially in the full-time program, it is a full-time job. It really is. And if you don't have to work, I would definitely recommend that you don't. Can we have our students, maybe, Andrew, do you want to chime in on that?
Yeah, so personally I did not work. I have some friends that do a little bit of part-time work on the weekends or sometimes at night. It just depends on your individual situation. If you're able to make it work, then absolutely. But it's different than doing undergrad and working at the same time. Like Ashley said, this is a full-time job. You need to be putting at least 40 hours a week minimum outside of the class, outside the classroom into it. And so it's just a matter of balancing that with your personal schedule.
Okay, so we are actually going to take a short break right now to show you an amazing video, just to give you a little teaser of campus and some other student experiences. So without further ado, please join us for this short video clip.
My favorite thing about Stetson is our focus on skills. Whether it be our writing program or our advocacy program, I truly feel like I am learning how to become a real lawyer.
My favorite thing about Stetson is the sense of community that our school fosters. We're stronger together, and Stetson really nurtures that.
This summer, in addition to being a judicial clerk for the Middle District of Florida, I'm also participating in Stetson's comparative trial advocacy class in Oxford, England.
My favorite thing about Stetson was receiving the practical legal experience through the Veterans Law Institute, and because of that, I landed my dream job.
My favorite thing about Stetson is the people. From the faculty to the staff to the students. You always learn something, they're always warm and inviting and willing to teach.
Okay, we're back. I hope you enjoyed that video. I'm sure Brianna and Andrew might have spotted some friends in there.
Yeah, I want to say hi to Lindsay, my fellow LSU alum. How are you doing? Can't wait for you to join us in the fall.
And it looks like Lindsay is also from LSU and from Michigan. I'm from Michigan as well, so go blue. Let's see. We've got Kelly is asking, I noticed our classes are broken up into 3 semesters each. Are we required to take classes over summer semester? So no, you are not required to take classes over the summer if you are in the full-time program. So the 80 credits required for graduation can be completed in just the 6 main semesters. Summer classes are optional. There are a lot of great experiences to be had over the summer, like clinics and externships, and you can get ahead on some credits to maybe lighten up a semester later on if you plan to work or whatnot, but it is not required. In the part-time program, you will have courses over the summer. And let's see, we've got another question from Lindsay. Are there any opportunities to earn additional scholarships as a 1L? Are paid externships attainable in the summer after 1L and into 2L, 3L years? So the scholarship question, definitely get in touch with our financial aid program. They'll be able to guide you through all of the opportunities for that. And admissions can help with that as well. As far as paid externships, so externships here at Stetson are for credit. So you actually get classroom credits, so that would mean they would be unpaid. But you can definitely do and are highly encouraged to explore some opportunities to do internship work at a law firm or public interest or whatever it might be in your 2L summer and the summer after your 1L year. Can we hear maybe from Andrew? Can you talk a little bit about what you did after your 1L year in the summer?
Yeah, so this summer I am doing the JD MBA program, so I've been taking MBA classes at night. And I'm also clerking part-time for a solo practitioner here in St. Pete, and that means doing some research for him, different other little legal aspects. It's been a great setup part-time. He's actually Stetson alumni as well. I have other friends who are working on campus at the Veterans Law Institute. There's opportunities there where you can get pro bono and scholarship stipends. And there's other people working for judges and firms around the area. So Brianna can probably tell us more about that too.
Yeah, so after my 1L year, I actually got a job on campus here, working in the alumni office where I still currently work. And like Andrew, I have, I had a couple of friends throughout after their 1L summer. They did, clerk or work for judges or, work part-time in a law firm just to be able to get that experience. And, even if it wasn't paid, they were getting, pro bono hours, which is a requirement here at Stetson. So either way, they got some experience, which I think is great.
Wonderful. So yeah, there are many different opportunities for you during the summer, either working for pay, for credit, getting ahead on class credits, and whatnot. Okay, let's see. We've got another question from Shannon. Is it common to bring your books to class with you? What type of bag would you recommend to carry class materials? Andrew, you want to talk to that?
Definitely bring your books. Don't show up to class without your books. The way law school classes work, it's on like a cold call basis, and you never really know what the professor's going to ask you. As much as you prepare and take great notes, they're going to find something that you didn't write down that you don't remember, and you're going to have to find it in your book. And you don't want to be the student that doesn't have their book on the cold call day. That is very embarrassing, and the professor will remember it. So always bring your books. And as far as bag, that's just personal preference. I carry backpacks, and depending on my schedule, some days I don't bring a bag at all. I bring my laptop, my book, and a highlighter, and roll the class like that. So.
Yeah, I'd agree with Andrew. It's really a personal preference on, what you feel comfortable with. These textbooks are very heavy, yes. So, if you need a backpack, if you need a bag, if you even need a rolling backpack, I know those have become pretty popular yes. these days. So whatever helps you bring your books to class and be prepared, I think is perfect.
Great. I think we had a question I saw up above from Gracie about what the first day of orientation will be like.
Long.
Very long.
Long. Can you talk a little bit more about what the experience is like, how they can prepare, what you should wear, all of that?
Absolutely. So the first day of orientation, they split you in half. So it'll be with half of your classmates. It's business professional. You wear a suit or business professional attire, and you take your headshot, which is your picture going forward for your student ID, for different promotional materials. And I think we serve breakfast and lunch that day. But you're in sessions for a long time with it's a lot of good information. You'll meet your ambassador that day. You'll go through these different sessions about what you should expect, different rules and policies that Stetson has in place. But it's a full 8 to 5 day, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and I remember from my orientation day, which was it seems like quite a long time ago, there will be, like a mock class, and I think there will be some prepared readings or something that you have to do. So just make sure you're prepared for that. It literally, at orientation day is your first day into becoming a law student. So it's very good to be prepared and to, meet people, because these are the people that you're going to be, classmates with and acquaintances with and, future coworkers with for, the next 3 years and into the future. So I think just, be calm, take a deep breath, but be prepared and just be ready to meet and get to know everyone.
Great, thanks guys. We've got another question from Yanette. In pursuit of internships and externships, does Stetson have resources that put students in contact with different opportunities? So yes, the answer is definitely yes, 1,000 times yes. We have for externships an amazing clinical ed department who can help guide you to which opportunities might be best and help you with the application process. We have an amazing career development office that will help you with everything from resumes to cover letters to finding job opportunities. Andrew, do you want to talk a little bit about just help you've experienced in finding opportunities for work?
Yeah, definitely. So career development is great. I've met with multiple different people 2 or 3 different times up in that office. They're great. One of the nice things we do here is called on-campus recruiting, and you'll get a simplicity profile that you create. And it's kind of similar to a LinkedIn, where you will post your interest, show your interest, and upload documents as far as resume, cover letters, and then we have different firms who actually come to campus and interview us here. So it's nice, and the career development is always very helpful. Answer emails late at night. Those guys work like crazy. So they're very helpful. And the cool part is even after you graduate, you still have that resource available, so they will always be able to help you with employment.
Okay, great. We've got time for just a few more questions, but I'm sure we can answer the rest of everyone's questions after the webinar completes. But let's go with Magner. Are we required to complete a certain amount of pro bono hours as students? So the answer is yes, you are. And I think that's actually one of the things that makes Stetson such a special community is the emphasis we really put on giving back to the community and really how this is a service profession. Brianna, do you want to talk a little bit about the requirement and what you've done to get started on your pro bono?
Yeah, sure. So Stetson requires you to do 60 hours of pro bono. 30 has to be legal and 30 has to be non-legal. And I know it seems like a lot, but Stetson really does provide all the opportunities in the world for you to get this pro bono done. And it's not a hassle as it seems like. I've been able to go out and I've helped people during we had, I believe it was some kind of fair in the Gulfport community. I did that. I worked that for a couple of hours, as well as doing legal pro bono. I know some of my friends have done what's called the VITA tax assistance. And so, they've literally helped people prepare their tax returns. And so I think Stetson gives you a great opportunity to get this done, get it completed. So just don't wait till the last minute.
Yeah. And we have many students that do all sorts of different opportunities. There's a really great program with Guardian Ad Litem, helping children. So there's many different opportunities, and the Career Development Office, as well as the pro bono faculty members, can really help you find opportunities that also help you along on your career path. So I think we have time for maybe one more question. Matt is asking, if you take summer courses, can you graduate faster than 3 years? So the answer is yes. You need 88 credits to graduate. There is a residency requirement. So that's how many semesters you're a full-time student on campus. So if you are in the full-time program and you want to graduate early, you do have to take at least 5 credit hours in both summer sessions to graduate early. But the Academic Success Office and Registrar can help you figure that out and figure out if it makes sense for you once you get here to campus. Do we have time for one more question? Maybe one more? Okay, let's take Rachel. What clubs and other Stetson opportunities have you enjoyed or would you recommend? So I'll let our students answer. Andrew?
Yeah, so one of the things I really enjoyed the most is being able to play intramural softball. We do that on Wednesday nights. It's actually both semesters. That's probably the biggest hit that we have here for intramural sports. Everybody gets really into it. It's a lot of fun. We have some other intramural sports we play as well. And there's over, I think, 50 or 60 organizations on campus. Very diverse, ranging all the way from, we have a Second Amendment Society, there's a Lambda group, there's, Christian Legal Society, and then a number of other legal societies that deal with different issues in the law. So it's something for everybody. And the nice part is if there's something here that you want to start that isn't already here, it's a very easy process to go through the Office of Student Involvement.
Okay, so I think we are out of time, but you keep the questions coming. We'll make sure you get an answer to all of them. And admissions is going to share both of our student ambassador emails as well as my email, so feel free to follow up with individual questions. And again, congratulations. We're so excited to welcome you to the Stetson family and to this great community, and we look forward to meeting with you all when you get to campus. So congratulations, and thanks for joining us and for all your great questions today.
Thank you for watching Stetson Law Live. For your convenience, our contact information will remain on screen for the next few minutes. Thanks for watching. We look forward to seeing you soon.